I'm doing the end of year book tag as a healthy outlet for my end of year anxiety. Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing the end of year book tag. This is a book tag that was created by Ariel, I think like a good few years ago now. I'll leave a link to her channel, like her video doing the end of year book tag down below. I feel like she was a little bit smarter. She did her book tag back in September when there was like still months of the year left to kind of plan out reading for, whereas I'm doing this at the end of November. There's only 1 month left of 2021. It doesn't even feel real, and maybe I'm panicking a little bit. But this book tag is going to be super fun. If you watch this and then you want to do it yourself, please tag me or like let me know in the comments. I'd love to come watch your video. Like, this isn't a super long tag video, so let's just get right into it. Starting off, seeing if there are any books that I've started this year that I still need to finish. Usually I'm really good at just like starting a book and then finishing it in like a good few days, but I don't know if I'm like still in a reading slump or what, but I have picked up like 5 books recently, and it's not that I don't want to read them. I just like, I don't know, I don't have the time. I'm not really in the mood to pick them up. I don't know what it is, but I definitely need to finish those. So I've started Iron Widow, which is a YA fantasy. So cool. It's like inspired by the one female Chinese emperor, so it's like inspired by real Chinese history, and it's set in this, I think it's set in like a kind of like dystopian world where there are these giant, I want to say they're like robots that people can pilot with like their spirit energy. So it follows this girl. She signs herself up to be a pilot, but she has a plan to like kill one of the best pilot fighters because he like killed her sister or something like that. I don't know what it is about like YA dystopians with giant robot fighting wars, but I'm kind of really here for it. I haven't really been into YA, but I'm like really interested in this. I've started it. I'm a few chapters in. It's really good so far. I've started that. I think that's the book that I'm making the most progress with, so I think I'll definitely finish that. Another book that I've started that I need to finish, Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. I picked this up one day when I went to the beach. I just kind of like threw it in my bag, and I think I read the first 50 pages of this. This is a collection of like short personal essays. This is kind of like a memoir. This was in the memoir section of the bookstore where I got it from, so technically it's a memoir, but they read as like short personal essays. So far I'm really enjoying it. I just don't know when I'm going to get around to finishing this because I picked this up when I was at the beach. I feel like that's kind of just like set the tone. I feel like I need to go back to the beach to finish this, so hopefully I can get in a few beach days this summer and finish this off before the end of the year. I'm kind of happy to just have this as like a book that I randomly pick up whenever I have a spare time though, or like whenever I'm going out. This is like the kind of book that I would just be happy to like have in my bag as like a backup, you know? And I mean, we could also talk about Kingdom of the Cursed by Kerry Maniscalco, which I started in October. This is the second book, the sequel to Kingdom of the Wicked, which I gave 2 stars, and I started this for a readathon. I got about 80 pages in and I haven't read any more, and the real question is, will I ever read any more? I don't think I will. I really do hate DNFing books though, so I might just have to pick this up before the end of the year and finish it, but I really was not enjoying this, and I really don't think I have any desire to finish this. This is definitely not a priority. Honorable mention, I guess. Now the next question is, do you have an autumnal read to transition into the end of the year, except I am in the southern hemisphere and we are currently going from spring to summer, and pretty much spring has gone. We are pretty much in summer, so she's not very autumnal, but I definitely think that she gives off some spring summer vibes. Beautiful World Where Are You by Sally Rooney. I did buy this I think like 2 months ago now, and I still really need to get to it. The only other Sally Rooney book I've read is Normal People. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I was very neutral on it. I read it like a good few years ago. It's not that I didn't not like Sally Rooney's writing. I'm really excited to give this book a go. Surprisingly, I haven't heard a lot about this. I feel like when Normal People came out, it was everywhere. Everyone was talking about Normal People, and there was a lot of hype for this book release, and now that it's out, I have heard nothing. No one's talking about it, no one's raving about it, but no one's hating on it either, so kind of hoping that is a good thing. I'm really hoping it's not a bad thing. From what I've heard, this is about two best friends who live, I guess, like very different lives, but they're like kind of in the same place in their life, and I think it follows some of their relationships that they have, as well as the relationship that they have with each other. Seems just like very classic Sally Rooney. I mean, I've only read Normal People, but it just seems that her books are very much centered around relationships with a little dose of social commentary. So I definitely get spring summer vibes from this cover though, also just from the title. Beautiful World, Where Are You? I don't know why, but it makes me think of Hugh Grant's monologue at the start of Love Actually. He's talking about seeing love at the airport. Don't know why, gives me very similar vibes. Love Actually is obviously a great Christmas movie. I always watch it around this time of year, so maybe that's why I also get those vibes from this book. But yeah, super excited to pick this up. The question is there any new releases that you're still waiting for? And I actually don't think that there are any new releases that I'm still waiting for. I'm pretty sure they've all been released. I would say easily my most anticipated releases of this year were the Sapphic Trifecta of fantasy books that came out. She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chang, The Unbroken by C.L. Clarke, and also The Jasmine Throne by Tasha Suri, and I still haven't read these. Oh my gosh, really need to get to these before the end of the year actually. I wanted to do a reading vlog for these back in like June, July or August. That didn't happen. I don't think I ended up getting these until September, and because I haven't like planned to do them for a video since, I just haven't given myself the time to read these. I really need to keep these like right by my bed so I can remember to pick them up before the end of the year. Going off of that, the next question is, what are the books that you really want to read before the end of the year? 3 books, like what are your top 3 priority books? We could technically say the Sapphic Fantasy Trifecta. Technically those were books that I planned to pick up for a video, so why don't we talk about some books that I haven't planned to pick up for any videos. This is an absolute brick and I don't expect to get through all of it, but I would really love to start Middlemarch by George Eliot. Also really love to read Docile by K.M. Sparrow. I bought this earlier this year and I was so excited to find it in a bookstore and actually buy it, but I haven't picked it up since I bought it, and I am really excited to get around to this. So definitely, I think I was planning on reading this in the spring, but as I said, we've kind of moved on from spring. It's pretty much summer at this point, so the sooner I pick this up the better. And a book that I kind of technically could do for a video, but I kind of just bought for fun for myself, Addicted to You by Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is the first book in one of the most popular romance series. I see everyone online raving about this, and so I got a copy for myself literally just to read this, see what the hype is about. I honestly feel like I've kind of fallen off my romance reading kick a little bit, and I miss it. I miss reading romance like every day of the week. Take me back to simpler times, happier times. I'm very excited to pick this up, and I might do a little reading vlog for it, but that would definitely just be like for fun. I definitely just bought this book for myself for fun. The next question is, do you think that there's still a book that could like surprise you and become a 5-star read? And I genuinely don't know. I'm so bad at predicting what rating I'm going to give books. I think that's actually going to be something that I challenge myself to next year. I think I want to do a video. I think I want to like look at a bunch of new releases and predict which ones are going to be 5-star reads for me throughout the year, and then maybe like I'll do a vlog where I read them and see if my predictions were correct. Because I feel like even when I'm really excited for a book release, that doesn't necessarily mean that I think it's going to be a 5-star read. Obviously I think it's going to be good and I'm like excited to pick it up, but 5-star reads are interesting. I feel like I give out 4-star ratings so easily with books, but 5-star ratings they're special. Obviously it's a 5-star book, so that's a little bit harder for me. I genuinely do not know any of the books that I've mentioned so far that I want to read, like Addicted to You, Docile, any of the Sapphic fantasy books, Beautiful World, Where Are You? Any of those could be 5-star reads. I don't know if any of them will become favorites. Do I even know what my favorite book? I do know what my favorite book of this year is easily, and I don't know if any of these books could top that, but never say never. I don't know, I could be surprised. And the last question is, have you already started making reading plans for the next year, 2022? Yes, I have. So a fun fact about me is that I haven't been relaxed ever. I'm just kidding. I was actually super excited. I had a bunch of ideas for videos and stuff for 2021. I think I started thinking of them like last month. I have a bunch of videos already planned out for next year, and so because of that I already have a bunch of books that I plan on reading next year. I don't really know if I want to tell you what any of them are, because that's kind of like a fun, they can be kind of like fun secret TBR videos. I do know that at some point next year I'm going to be taking, you guys sent in a bunch of numbers for me to pick books off my Goodreads TBR list. So I think I decided in January I was going to go take all the numbers that you guys gave me and then make my way through my Goodreads TBR list. So I have those books to read in January. In terms of like new releases though, I'm really bad at keeping up with new releases before they've been released. I feel like I never hear about books coming out until they've come out and people are raving about them. So like kind of going off what I said just before, how I'm really bad at predicting 5-star reads, knowing which new releases are going to be 5-star reads, it's partly because I just never know what books are coming out. I don't know what new releases are. So definitely think next year I really want to kind of try and keep up a little bit more with new releases. I want to have a few predictions of my favorites, and I think maybe one of my reading goals for next year will be to read a new release every month. Just one. I think that's totally doable, and hopefully it'll keep me up to date. So yes, I've started making plans. I'm like super excited for 2022. I can't wait to make a bunch of super fun videos. I can't wait for you guys to see them. I hope you guys will enjoy them. I really think that you will, but can't really share what books I've already planned out to read. So you'll just have to wait until next year, which isn't far away. We only have 1 month left of the year. So that's my little end of year book tag video, kind of really putting it into perspective how little time we have left and how many books I want to read. I also still need to complete my Goodreads goal for 2021. My goal is 200 books and I still have to read I think like 20. So I have a lot of reading to do before the end of the year, but I'm so excited for all of it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'd love to hear how your reading has gone so far this year in 2021. If there are any books you're going to be picking up last minute before 2021 is over. I will be back with another video sometime soon. Bye besties.